Okay, so number 3 in the tutorial for the 3D web button, and what I've got on my desktop is the Tweener zip file, and inside that was another folder, and I've placed the Karinia folder inside the Flash button folder. I'm going to save my file, the finished product, in this folder because it needs to reference this folder here. So don't rename that folder, keep it the same name and everything will work. We'll see how that goes later on when we save it. I have the comp1 that I published out of After Effects that contains the button and just a simple MP3 clicking for the button sound. So I'm going to open Flash and bring it over here. I'm going to create a new ActionScript 3. I want that first layer to be the wow underscore btn, and I want to create another layer above that which is going to be the activate button, and I want another layer above that for the actions. Okay, now we go down to this bottom one, and what I'll do is I'll just drag this down and grab that comp1 and put it up on top of my screen there so I can see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is insert new symbol. It's going to be movie clip. Symbol 1 is a good enough name, and I'll open that up. I'm just going to drag that comp1 straight out onto the stage, and it's going to bring up my input. I'm going to embed the FLV in the timeline, so that's okay. All the defaults are okay. It's an embedded video. Finish. Okay, so with that selected, the first thing I want to do is make sure this align to stage is checked, and I'm going to put it in the middle there and in the middle there. That's just so when I scale it, it's going to reference from the middle. Okay, so we can go back out. Oh no, we can't. So actually I want to put the wow underscore MC there, and I want another layer there for the actions. I always forget this one and I have to go back. Okay, so I'm just going to press Control and shorten that down. We need it on just one frame, that first frame. Okay, so with that ready, let's press F9, bring over the actions, and actually want that to glue there. Okay, and we're going to put just a simple stop function there. That's all we need. That just stops the animation from playing until we want it to play. So we can go back out to scene 1, and that's in the library, so I can just grab symbol 1 and pull it out onto the stage. Now the first thing I want to do is modify the document, and I want just to make it to the contents, so it's just going to crop it to the contents of that movie clip. And we can, with that movie clip selected, we want to give it an insta stain right now. BTN, wow BTN. Okay, so I think we're all done with that layer. We can just log it. Alright, onto the activate. Now with it, I'm just going to create an object out on the stage, and if I was to create a mouse object on this movie clip, it would start if I rolled into this section here. I don't want that. I want it to actually activate in this middle section. So I'm going to create a hotspot by creating a button, just by drawing out an object, and might select that object. There it is there. I've actually got that as an alpha of 0. Okay. So I can't, we're off screen off there, so I'll just drag this over. Can I drag that over? And you can see that with that selected, and I click here, I've actually got a 0 alpha, and you want to make that just by clicking it to the side. Make it 0 so we can't see it. Okay. Now I bring that back up. With that selected, I want to modify convert that to a symbol, and I want that to be a button registration in the middle, and that can be just symbol 2. That's okay. And there it is in the middle. Now with that still selected, we want to call that wow underscore ACT. Okay, and that can just stay in the middle. And we can lock that. Now we're up to, we might drag in our plastic click, and I'm just going to drop that into the library from my desktop straight into the library, and we're going to put the linkage here as btn underscore son btn sound. Okay, just as the linkage. All I did was double click it and give it that name, and that's going to be what I'm going to reference it to in the actions. So let's go up here and do the actions. Spring over here. So I'll just get that so it's floating. The first thing we're going to do is reference the folder that it's in. So really what the first thing I should do is save this project. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to go to that Flash folder that's got that Karinia in it, okay, and I'm going to save it there as 3D BTN. Doesn't matter what its name is, as long as it's in that folder, that's okay. And when you go to the web, you want to upload that folder to the web too. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Okay, so let's do the action script. And the first thing we're going to do in the action script is import the Google code. So we have a few lines to do, and that will actually access the folder that we've saved our file in, and some of the different properties there, transitions and stuff. So that's important to have. The next thing we're going to do is make a mouse event for the rollover. So let's go through that. They're all very basic. We're going to have a few. So the wow activate, which was the button we placed on top, we're going to add an event listener to that. It's going to be a mouse event, roll over, and we're going to create a function for that. So let's look at that function. It is a mouse event, so yeah, it's going to access Tweener. It's going to add a tween, and it's going to get that MC wow button, and it is going to play it to frame 30 because it's 30 frames long, so it's going to play it to the end, and that's how it controls it. Now we can also control the time, so 0.8 is 0.8 of a second. We can speed that up by making it 0.6, or we can slow it down by making it 1.5, whatever you want there. So we can actually control the not by the timeline, but by this frames and the amount of time it goes to here. So let's make the rollout function next. And the rollout function is pretty similar. It's the same activation here on that button, and we've got the event listener, and it's the rollout here. We create a new function and we add that tweener to it, very similar, but this time we're going back to frame 0, and I've just set it a little bit slower, so that it's quick when we roll on and slow when we roll off, and that's just how it sort of works. You can do how you want. For the next one, I create the click on the mouse down. I don't actually like to go to the web page on the mouse down because that would usually is faster than my click. So what I do on the mouse down, on the mouse event mouse down, I play the sound. So I initiate a new down var here, and that sound is the button sound. So that was in our library, and we just play that. So it's going to click, and what we do with the tweener here at the same time is in 0.1 of a second we scale it to 0.9. So just as you hit it, it looks like you're pressing it into the page like a button you would. Okay, and the last one, of course, is to go to the website. So if I just bring that up, now we're going to the website. So as we do it, I'm using the mouse up. So we clicked it down to make the sound, but on mouse up, we go to the web page. And that function is just to go to a new URL. And of course, that URL is worldofwebcraft.com, which is a great place if you're looking at my YouTube channel to really get codes and different tutorials from lots of different people all about webcraft. So do yourself a favor and check it out. Now that ends pretty much the code. It's fairly simple. I'll include it on World of Webcraft in the tutorial sections for ActionScript. So if you're looking at YouTube, you can check it out there, and the code will be printed there as well. So that's pretty much it for the code. We'll take it into DREAMWEAVER next and have a look at the finished product and talk about how to upload that to your server. So here we are in DREAMWEAVER, and I've got it out on the stage. I've made the background transparent, which is in the code. If you look at the code, the W mode, the value is transparent. That just makes the rest of the Flash file not be seen, so you can blend it into the background. Okay, so I go back to design mode, and you can see that it blends into the background, and when I click on it, it plays the click and scales down until I let my mouse off it, and then it'll go to the page. And it's actually doing that on a separate screen. I've got my browser in a separate screen, and it's going straight to World of Webcraft. So that's pretty cool. But you can see that this animation could be anything, and it doesn't just need to be a button either. It could be a logo that when you animate it, roll over it, it starts the animation. So it doesn't need to be a button, any Flash animation, and this is a great way to make animations with After Effects for Flash. It sort of opens up a whole new world for Flash to be able to make the animations somewhere else and bring them in. Okay, so I hope you take something away from that. Just before I go, I should explain, when you go to your server with this, you need your Flash file, and be sure to upload the folder containing the Karinia folder, so that all your scripts are in this. So that has to go to your server as well, and keep them in the one folder. Don't go putting it somewhere else. We've referenced it inside that, so they need to be all in their one little folder together. You can take them out and put them out on another page, but keep them together with that folder, and everything should work fine for you. So I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I'll catch you later sometime.